Welcome back. What you are about to hear is not a legend, not a myth, but a mission that was erased from official records. A Navy soldier, a silent sea, and something that was never meant to be awakened. Listen carefully because once the ocean remembers you, it never lets you go. The last watch beneath the black tie. I was a Navy petty officer assigned to maritime security, trained to survive storms, combat, and isolation. Fear was never part of my vocabulary. The ocean was my second home. Endless, calm, predictable. That belief died the night our ship received orders to escort an unregistered research vessel deep into a restricted zone. No flags, no transponder, just coordinates and silence. Command told us nothing except one line burned into my memory. Do not investigate what you hear beneath the water. The sea was unnaturally still when we arrived. No waves, no wind. Even the engines sounded muffled, as if the water swallowed sound itself. The research vessel drifted ahead of us, lights flickering like a dying heartbeat. Our sonar officer went pale. He said something large was moving below us, circling slowly. Too slow to be mechanical, too deliberate to be an animal. When he tried to log it, the system wiped the entry by itself. That night, the first sound came, a low vibration. Not loud, but deep enough to settle inside my chest. It wasn't coming from above or around us. It came from below. Some of the crew claimed it sounded like distant singing. Others said it was metal grinding against stone. I didn't hear either. What I heard was my name, so familiar, spoken in my own voice. I left my bunk without realizing it. My feet carried me toward the lower deck as if guided by memory rather than will. The sound grew clearer near the hull. My reflection in the metal wall looked wrong, delayed, like it moved a second after I did. I touched the cold surface, and the vibration stopped instantly. Silence rushed in so fast my ears rang. Then the intercom crackled and repeated the same sentence on every channel. The watch has begun. By morning, 3 sailors were missing. No alarms, no signs of struggle, just empty bunks and wet footprints leading nowhere. Command ordered a lockdown. No one was allowed near the railings. The research vessel had stopped responding entirely. Through binoculars, I saw its deck was covered in dark stains, not blood, but something thicker, almost reflective, like oil that moved against gravity. Then one of its doors opened by itself. Against orders, a boarding team was assembled. I was part of it. As soon as my boots touched the other ship, I felt pressure behind my eyes, like a memory trying to surface. The air smelled ancient, like deep caves and rusted anchors. Inside the corridors, the walls were carved with symbols that hurt to look at for too long. They weren't written. They were grown into the metal. We found the crew in the control room, or what was left of them. They were standing upright, eyes open, mouths stretched in frozen screams, but their bodies were hollow. Empty shells, no organs, no blood, just darkness inside, moving slowly, like a tide trapped in human shape. One of them turned its head toward us and spoke in unison with the others. "You are late." The sea waited. Weapons did nothing. Bullets passed through them and vanished into the darkness inside. The lights exploded overhead. Emergency red flooded the corridor, and the floor began to vibrate harder than before. From below the ship, something massive struck upward. The entire vessel groaned like it was alive. Through a cracked window, I saw it in endless shape, not fully physical, wrapped in shadows and broken reflections. It had no face, only depth. We went. As we escaped back to our ship, the water around both vessels began to rise unnaturally, forming walls instead of waves. The ocean itself was lifting. The thing beneath us was surfacing, not upward, but through reality. Our captain screamed orders, but the radios only repeated the same phrase. Every watch ends. A new one begins. One by one, sailors froze mid-motion, eyes turning black as the deep sea. They stood still, listening. Then they walked calmly to the edge and stepped into the water without resistance. The ocean opened for them, did not splash, did not ripple. It accepted them like they belonged there. I tried to pull one back, but his skin felt hollow, like a wetsuit filled with cold air. I locked myself in the communications room. The sonar screen was alive with movement, countless shapes rising from below. Not creatures, not ships, memories, faces, voices of sailors lost at sea for centuries. The ocean wasn't hunting us. It was collecting. Every life given to it became part of something vast and aware. And now, it had noticed me. The vibration returned, stronger than ever. My name echoed again, but this time it spoke my thoughts before I could think them. It showed me images ancient fleets swallowed whole, underwater cities older than history, and a promise: join the watch. Never age, never drown, never be alone. I felt my fear fade, replaced by calm. That terrified me more than anything. I don't remember entering the water. I remember sinking without resistance, breathing without lungs, seeing clearly in endless darkness. The thing beneath the surface wasn't evil. It was duty, an ancient sentry guarding something deeper than the ocean itself. It needed watchers, and humanity kept sending them, unknowingly. one ship at a time. I woke up on shore days later, alone, no ships, no wreckage. Official reports said my vessel was lost to a storm. I was declared the sole survivor, but at night, when the tide rises, I hear the vibration again, stronger, closer. My reflection still moves a second too late, and sometimes I find seawater dripping from my hands even when I haven't touched the ocean. They say the sea forgets. That's a lie. The sea remembers every watch it has ever taken, and soon it will call me back to finish mine. Thank you for listening. If you ever hear your name carried by the tide, don't answer, because once the ocean calls you, you are already part of the watch.